The top reason why your children does not communicate with you is for this solid reason. Have you wondered why the communication is totally off? Your child does not confide in you. Have you thought about you just giving your child everything that he or she deserves? Have you thought about how much you sacrificed working that 9-to-5 job? How many times you took off from work? Doing the footwork, invested everything in passing out your inheritance and everything to your child, only to know that your child is not communicating with you, or perhaps the communication is just, let's talk about it. First, I want to say to you, I am no expertise at this, okay? I'm not a therapist, I'm not a counselor, but what I can say, I have 4 children. And one is 18, one is 14, one is 8, and he's gonna be 1 in just about 2 weeks at the time of me recording this video. And one thing I will say, I pay attention to every little details of my kids to the point my 18-year-old, nothing changed with her. The communication is still there. So here's what I'm going to share with you. The top reason why your child does not communicate with you, does not confide in you. And let's talk about it. While some may agree to disagree, that is okay. I would like for you to communicate with me. If I'm missing something here, go ahead and drop it in a comment. If you have any suggestion, concern, drop it in a comment. Let's talk about it. And like I said, I am no expertise at this, but the experience of my children and comparing it with others, I can pretty much say, thank God, the job is well done. So let's talk about the top reason why your child does not confide or communicate with you. Now, it has a lot to do really the upbringing. And you're probably going to say, well, Camille talk a lot about upbringing, but really and truly, our upbringing is vital. That makes us or it breaks us. I'm Jamaican, so you may hear some terms that you're probably not familiar with. But when I said make or break you, means like it gives you an effective communication or lack communication skills, right? So I'm going to just say as a mother, I made sure since my daughter, and I'm going to start off with the 18-year-old one. She's a girl. And when she was in kindergarten, every day faithfully, consistently for 18 years, and you can even ask her. She don't like to be on camera, but I promise you, if you ask her, she will tell you. For 18 years, well, I won't say 18 years because when she was in kindergarten or pre-K, so to speak, I would ask her this. How was school today? What did you learn? Let's talk about it. And she would open up to me. Did anything go bad today? I would ask her those questions. Tell me something that happened that was good today. Tell me something that was bad today. So even if someone hurt her feelings, someone stepped on her toe, someone took her paper, whatever it is, and I've been like this consistent for years. So what this means, throughout her entire 15 years, I'm going to say, 15, 16 years, I've always asked her, how was school today? Then I'm not going to say I'm perfect because yes, I may miss 1 and 2 days, but she can tell you, I've always asked her, how was school today? What did you learn? Let's talk about it. When I come home from work, we have our me time together. And not many parents, I'm not going to say that every parent, because some parents have a lot to do with their life, whereas depending on their circumstances and situation, they have to work. I'm not sure of your job schedule, but even so, I remember when I was working, I believe it's a 1 to 10 shift. And at night when I know that my kids are going to come home and I won't see them, I send emails. Janaea, how was school today? Now, I couldn't hear from the other kids, but as the minute I got time to speak to them over the phone, call, check up on them. Did you eat this today? How was school today? What did you learn? What went bad today? I have opened that door for communication with them. That is so vital. Because if our children does not communicate with us, best believe they're going to use something else to communicate with, or perhaps they're going to go to someone. And sometimes during their vulnerable state, that is when people take advantage of them, right? We see that happen a lot of time because they don't get the attention from home. They're not getting the communication that they want from us, the attention from us. So they go out there and they seek it from someone else. So I've made sure I open up that. Not just with my 18-year-old, my 14-year-old son, I have opened up to him. I would even communicate with my son about work. Things didn't go well for me today. This happened, and I've opened up, not just them telling me, but I'm also telling them what happened at my job, what didn't work out for me. This didn't happen. I was a little miserable about this. I just kept that communication both ways. So they know how mom is doing, and at the end of the day, they know how mom is feeling inside, right? I'm not going to hide things from my children. It's the same thing vice versa. And naturally, I find that even before me coming and asking them what happened, they coming to tell me. They was like, Mom, guess what happened today? Da 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 da. And they just letting it off. Sometime I'll pick them up from after school or school, and before you know it, as soon as that door is closed, Mom, this happened today. And how you think I should have approached it, Mom? This, that. Same thing with my 8-year-old. She tells me every little thing. So what I'm trying to say, it all starts from the communication from little growing up. I've always done that for my kids. So as a result of that, there is no space for, oh, I didn't tell you this, because we communicate about every single thing. At the end of the day, when our child does not communicate with us, there's something lacking there. We may come home from work, and before you know it, we take a shower, eat in the bed, our child is somewhere else in their bedroom, no communication. That's what's happening nowadays due to social media. Everyone is just in their own space. We play a game board, sometimes we play puzzle. I play with them as big as I am at this moment. I play with my kids, little games, wrestling, whatever it is, I do everything with them. And that's because I want to make sure they have a safe space with me. And that is super important, because we need our children. Our children is the next generation that is going to move our legacy. So I feel like we need to invest in our children as opposed to letting social media and everything else take them away from us. So that is the top reason why your child does not communicate with you effectively, because this lack of communication. The upbringing was probably different, whereas you probably did not communicate enough with your child. Now, the thing is, we often adapt our culturism. Was what we see is what we learn, right? So it's all about learned behavior, but you can change that. You could change it. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. For me, I grew very close with my parents, but they did not communicate with me as effective. And that was one thing I wanted to change. I said, you know what? Once I have my own kids, I'm going to make sure I break the barrier for that. I need communication with my children. And so I have practiced it. I have channeled that into my day-to-day activity to make sure I put them first. I need to know what they're going through. How was school today? What did they learn? And just keep that communication, because as a result of that, doesn't matter how old they are, they will open up that communication barrier so we know what's going on. Because our children, think about it, 9 months of labor, 9 months of becoming pregnant. For me not to invest in my child? No. So I'm going to make sure I put everything into my children. Now, I may not have the best, but they see how hard mom is working so they can get the best out of me. I just made sure I'm not too busy with everything else that I don't have no time for my children. I'm not going to do that. This world that we live in nowadays, it's crucial. It's vital. So if we don't put the time into them, someone else is going to put time into them and take them away from us. And that's the number one reason why your child does not communicate with you effectively, because there's no safe space. We need to leave them a safe space. So, when you come in, you may be tired, take a quick nap, and then put in a nice little half an hour, 40 minutes. That's all it takes. Sit down next to your child, hug your child, show your child some compassion, show your child some love. Sometimes we focus too much on the wrong thing, and then we leave our children. So we need to put all of that in our children, invest in them, because they are the next generation. I hope this message finds you well. Let me know your thoughts on this video. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and also to subscribe if you're brand new to this channel. Until then, we'll see you around. Thank you for watching. Be blessed.